No, I don't normally, but if we do, I'll signal to Sal.
Okay.
You bitch.
Listen, it's my birthday today, so we can do
Yeah.
what we like.
Yeah, shut it, Sal.
Just leave Sally alone.
I better had. I'm getting a bit big for my britches.
You're going to get one of them. Should give you a bunch of fives.
You do realise if anyone's watching this without volume and just sees us doing this, it's just really not going to look good, is it?
I don't care.
No, I don't give a fuck either. Let's just set the world to rights. If you're watching this now, me nor Viv make any apology for what you're about to witness. That's your doing. You're watching.
Yeah. I should share this out. We got nobody in the chat yet.
They'll come in.
This week on live. Nobody knows. We've done it secretly. Shh.
Who's this?
More to myself, Ryan.
I have been abducted. I better not say that now. Facebook police will be banging the door down.
Will they? Have you had any problems with Facebook recently?
I've had a couple of issues with them, yeah, but remember the hauntings page?
Oh yeah. Hi Sarah.
Hi Sarah. If you go on where the hauntings page is, you won't find it. You'll find instead a personal profile called Elliot Donovan, and it's a cloned account. Somebody stole that account through my former colleagues, and now it's completely lost. But yeah, I've had a load of issues like that and a few other different things with Facebook recently.
Well, I don't care. I'm going to say it.
Why
are people such bellends? Honestly.
Because it's the old green-eyed monster, isn't it?
They're not going to gain anything by it, though, Ryan, are they? I mean, they're not going to make any money out of it. They're not going to get any fame out of it.
No, but it's a bit like, when you get two people and one person says something to finish a conversation, you should leave it there. But then another person chips in with their little bit, and another person chips in, and nobody wants to be the guy to get the last word. Sorry, I mean, they do want to be the guy to get the last word. It's a little bit like that. So they don't gain anything from it, but they get great satisfaction, I should say, out of getting that last dig, getting that last thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like that.
Yeah, you got the last laugh.
Hey, Nico.
Hi, Nico.
That is true.
All right, me old China. That's for Nico. He's me old China.
Me old China.
I think he's going to be security at a cryptid conference. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm not scared of Nico. I'd rumble with him on the floor.
I'll fuck him up.
Yes, I'll do him big time.
I might be 42 years old this year, but I've still got one last fight left in me.
You're a young spring chicken. So when you come
honestly,
down
I've got too many injuries now to fight. I was contemplating it. I don't know if you noticed on my profile, I think it was last week, the week before, I put a little snippet clip up and said, could I do it again? And
yes.
Sally immediately laughs, as always. But I just thought, do you know what? I love the sport of boxing, especially in the cage. I love it, and especially raising money for charity. I thought, come on, I've got one more fight in me. Realistically,
why doesn't Sally just stick you in a cage and lock you in there to raise money for charity? Just leave you in the cage on your own.
Listen, I'm game for anything. I'm down for any. I'm game as a badger, as they say. If it raises money for charity, I'll do it. Why not? Greetings, William. Greetings.
I've never actually thought of that.
No, that's true.
Don't just feed him in a little bowl and a little bowl of water. No cutlery. Just put it through a little gap in the cage and leave him in there.
I think I can officially say this is the last time I'm coming on as a guest.
Why?
I'm certainly not going to make him fucking purr.
Oh, shit, mate. My missus will be there. She's going to protect me. That's all right if you met my missus.
I know. You leave Sally alone. She's brilliant. I tell you what, that woman is absolutely brilliant.
She is. But don't swell her head anymore. She won't get out the door.
I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Yes, I love you. Bye.
You've said bye to Ryan.
Bye, little dude.
Right. Come on, handsome, let's go. Right, love you, bye.
Bye.
Not coming on the camera. Bye.
You come to give me a kiss and say, love you, bye.
Do you know, that's what I love, right? Is I was joking off camera about the reporter that had his kids come in the news and stuff like that. Do you know? And a lot of people get really arsey about that sort of stuff. And do you know what? I think it's quality, because what you're showing your viewers is you're a bloody human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's-
So,
Hi, Nicola.
hey,
He's been, he's got an alien. He's discovered alien today.
gotta love aliens.
He doesn't know what an alien is. I think that's the first one he's seen.
He's a very clever young man, because he's keeping in topic with current affairs, isn't he? With his little alien.
Alien. Have
Yes.
you seen anything where you live? Because you live in a prime place to see stuff.
Well, I shall tell you a very quick true story that happened. Yeah, I know you're getting excited about this one, Sal, but and this is honestly, wait to hear how amazing. It's the best, probably the best UFO sighting that I've ever seen in my life. And basically, we just moved here, and it was restarting completely from scratch. So we had the old mattress on the floor and all that sort of stuff when we came into the house. So anyway, where we were sleeping, you could see straight up into the sky out of the obviously the windows, and you could see across the bay onto the hillside. And we're sitting there, pitch dark, watching something on the telly, and I saw this big light. I thought, what the hell's this? And I can only refer to it as like an enormous moon type shape. So
Right.
it was circular but slightly off perfect, and it was enormous in scale ratio to where it was. I would say it had to be at least 100 feet wide. You know, it had to be huge. Anyway, this thing was there at a distance, and it just looked like it was hovering. And I says to Sal, can you see that? And she looked and she saw it. And no sooner did we look at it than we saw it shoot off. It shot off to the right-hand side. But as it went, it lit up the whole field. Like, you know, it just went... Whew. And then...
It was mega mahoosive.
There you go. Mega mahoosive. And then about... Was it 10 minutes later, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we sort of settled down with the excitement of it, and I sort of laid back down. And then this light appeared again, except this time it wasn't circular. It was about the same length, so about 100 feet long, and it was just one big strip of light like that. And it just sat there for ages. I mean, it sat there so long that I was able to let Sally know it was there, get out of bed, walk across the floor and start looking for it over in the field, you know, and it just sat there looking at us. Well, I say looking at us, but directly across from us, this big long light, and then it just disappeared.
Did you get any pictures?
No, we didn't think about it. This is the thing. I always say that it's like the fight or flight thing, isn't it? It's like when you're in the moment, do you grab what you need, or is it afterwards that you're going to be kicking yourself in the nuts because you wish you took a picture of it? And that was one of those moments. I just wish that I'd taken a video or a picture or something of it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
How amazing, though. Oh, thank you, Chantal. Thank you, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Oh, yeah, they were saying, did you get photos?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's one of... I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I did at the time, and I do kind of now when I think about it, because... You know, I just wish I had a documented that. Nobody even to this day believes me. I told her, I said, they were like, shut up. I said, I'm telling you, this thing was absolutely huge.
Okay,
massive.
Right. I just got an update and an alert, and it's an amber one. And this alert says, Aurora is likely to be visible by eye from Scotland, Northern England and Northern Ireland. So, possibly visible elsewhere in the UK. So did you manage to get to see the aurora where you are?
We get to see it on a regular basis. And I'm not meaning to be a knobhead by bragging about that. It's just that where we are located, as long as we have obviously the clear skies and no low-level light pollution, which is obviously on Shetland anyway, there's not loads of lights. So we don't have that horrible glow that prevents you from seeing the night sky. So as long as it's clear, like I say, then we get a beautiful, beautiful lights.
Do you know,
Beautiful.
I've never seen it. We had it here. I slept through it. They said it was you'll be able to see it the other night. Never saw it.
It's because you have too much surface light. So wherever you are, you need to move away into the darker areas. So maybe next time jump in the car and go to a country lane somewhere away from the lights. Because although you think your street is
Brian,
bright,
no, the last time I did that was 30 years ago. I got pregnant.
ooh, yeah, maybe don't do that. But then
No, don't.
I suspect you went to a similar place to me once in a white van. Now that sounds dodgy, but I was at
Did you get
at work
pregnant
one
too?
day. No, bear with me on this one. I was at work one day and I needed a pee. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I needed a pee. Got to go somewhere, and my guy says, "I'll take you in here." Loads of cars go in here. You'll be able to go into the woods and have a pee. I'm not gonna lie. So he pulls over. I go for a pee. I come back and I said, "Here, mate." I said, "What's with all these bloody cars? They're everywhere." I said, "It's a bit odd in the middle of." He said, "This is where the doggers go, like." He said, I said, "What did you let me go in there for a piss for?" He said, "Well, I just wanted to see if they would approach you, like." He said, "So if a work colleague takes you to a place in the woods in a transit van with lots of other cars, don't get out."
Oh, that do you know, that sounded like this pigman sighting that happened in a certain place in Cannock Chase, and the CF said they sent me there. They said, go and check it out and see what's going on with this pigman. The bird watcher got chased. Oh, I turned up there. It's only a dogging site, isn't it? And people are now wearing masks to hide identities and scare people off that are not doggers, obviously. But
it's well dodgy. I mean, fair play to them if they want to crack on, but that's their thing. I remember talking about doggers. I remember working with Ben, one of the cameramans at the Hauntings. He came in sort of like the early days of the Hauntings, doing a lot of the camera work and things. Myself and him went to meet Lee and Pete. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was in this wooded area. And as we sort of pulled up into the car park, we were sitting there in an old clapped out Ford Mondeo that was all like tattered and dented and things. We were sitting there in this bloody Mondeo waiting for Lee and Pete. And I phones Lee and I said, like, "Where are you? What the fuck's going on? Like, why are you taking ages? There's people starting to turn up," I said to him. And he said, "Where are you?" I said, told him, and he said, "Oh, you're in the wrong car park." So anyway, we started just getting ready to reverse out the space and go to where Lee and Pete were. And there's this guy stood behind us. I noticed him in the rear view mirror, and he's got this great big like rucksack thing on with all this boom camera stuff, equipment and different things. And he's standing. I thought, what the fucking hell is he doing? I thought, is this like another ghost hunting team or something? And Ben just said, "I think we need to get out of here quick." I said, "Why? What's up?" He said, "I think we've walked into a special doggers event or something like that." So I thought, how is this possible? Is the universe trying to tell me something that I should go and be a dogger or something? Because that's like two different occasions. I end up in a bloody dogging site.
You're on your own. I ain't getting my ass out for nobody.
Yeah. I said, nah, can't be bothered with all that stuff. Just leave it to the people that want to and lightly count me out.
Yeah, man. I can have my kink in other ways, but that's not for me. Oh, no.
No. Sorry, we got into the subject of dogging, but dogger sites. You need to take photos, it will come back.
Well, actually, it's funny you should say that because I've had a few other different little things, some paranormal as well. Couple of little things, nothing major. And I thought, right, I'm going to get like a Ring doorbell, and put that up and stuff. So that all sort of heads out that area, so I can see everything. So if it was to turn up again, then absolutely I would see it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Hey, Kelly, thank you for believing me. Now, can I just say who this Neil Tyndall is?
Is he part of your team?
He is. He's actually none other than my vice captain. So he's my boss, isn't he? But yeah, this is the darts shirt for mild darts on a Friday night. And this Friday is the last game of the season. So, and myself and Neil are playing in a doubles competition on Saturday as well. Because we're actually the highest scoring doubles team. Doubles team in our team.
Shall I say it for you? 180.
180.
Oh my God.
There you go. But Neil's a very good darts player.
Is he? Is he good with getting the bullseye? That's hard.
Ask him
hard.
about his 180s. He likes his 180s. But
Does he?
I wonder if it'd be cool if anybody was any interest in darts, right? If it's something that you like to do, I find it good for my mental health and being around my friends and what have you and all that.
Yeah.
And it's just really relaxing for me. So that's why I do it. And I've done it since I was a kid. But if it'd be cool that Neil maybe could share the group in the comments or whatever, and maybe some guys can come over and check out what Neil posts about the team on a week and different things like that.
What are you on about? They
Send
won't
him the link.
understand him.
Forward
again?
him the link. Forward him the link and tell him to come on here and tell us all about it himself.
He's here. I'm sure he can. I can't send a link with my phone, Viv. I can't do that.
Can't you? I haven't got him
No.
as a friend. Hang on, Neil Tyndall.
He'll come
I don't
on.
know how to do. Hang on a moment, Neil Tyndall.
You'll never understand him, though.
I was gonna say, I
That's
hope
all right.
you've got,
We'll just pretend we understand him.
He will technically be officially the most northerly person in the world that you've ever had on here.
Neil Tyndall, I found him. I found you, Neil. I hope it's the right Neil Tyndall. If it isn't, it'll be funny if he comes on here and
will
it's
be
the wrong
funny.
one.
Should we just get a random Neil Tyndall on? I wonder if he's screen recording this and going to share it with the boys.
It's like,
Oh my God.
Neil, tell us about your darts. And be going, what? What?
He'd be like, darts?
I bet he won't come on.
Oh,
I've
he's not
sent him the
shy.
link.
He's not shy as Neil.
I've sent him the link.
He's
Look.
he's got. I think he'd probably be your first Shetlander as well.
Yeah. Tell him to look in it. Neil, look in your others chat and you'll see a message in there. Just click on the link.
Yeah, he's fairly savvy. He'll figure it out, I think. Is Ryan the dad?
Daddy of the paranormal.
Oh, dad? No.
yeah.
I'm semi-retired these days. Hey, Terry.
All right, Terry.
But I must. There's the 180 on Friday. Yes, I checked out a double 16 to win a match. Yes. Oh, he's gone on about his bloody 180s again. Go on, Neil. Sort this out and come on and say hello.
Yeah, come on.
I'm confused which bit is for which. I don't know which question.
It's throw the darts at each other, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, what I used to do was, do you remember those, do you remember stickle bricks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were kind of, I can visualize the darts being like that. I don't know if
a
they
long
were.
one.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm thinking correctly, though, but I'm sure I used to have a set of darts that were toy ones that were similar material that you would throw, and it was a way to stop it obviously sticking into you. It was like, I can't even...
Dartboard.
Yeah, it was like a child's dartboard, and that's what got me into it. I used to throw them at my sister all the time.
You're not supposed to throw
Yeah.
it, he says then.
Listen, anything goes. Anything goes. No, both in the car.
Don't throw darts in the car, for God's sake.
No. I see no link. You should do, bud.
I'm sure it was him I sent it to. Let me go again. What's
Just
his
it'll be the
name?
same picture.
Neil Tyndall.
This is actually quite amusing.
Oh, God. It's so
Neil
worth
Tyndall.
it.
Yeah, I've got him there.
There
Oh,
you go. I'm actually quite
What's that?
nervous now. But
what's happened?
He's a polite guy. He'll come on.
Let me find Neil again. I've lost him. Hang on. My Facebook did something really weird.
Yeah, it's been, like we were saying earlier, it's been doing a lot of that.
There's been a lot of weird stuff going on. Right, search messenger. Neil Tyndall. There he is. Same picture. Neil Tyndall. Why? It's not letting me message him. Maybe because
Seriously?
we're not friends. Maybe because we're not friends.
Neil, sort it out, man, if you're watching. Accept the friends request or whatever. Or
You might
send
have to
Viv
go.
a...
Yeah, you're going to have to go to your others thing, I think. But
I
it's
can't...
funny because it didn't let me put it in there. Oh, let me try this. Hang on. No.
No.
Let me see if I can send him a like. No, he doesn't
Oh,
let me
that's a bit-
message him at all.
Eh?
He must be very private on Facebook.
He's like 007 as Neil.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's very secretive.
Is he a bit like Sean Connery? Sean Connery.
Actually, yeah, he's not far away from that, to be fair. He's not far away from that.
I threw a dart at two at my little brother when I was bored as a kid.
Listen, it has to be done, mate. It has to be done as long as it sticks in his arse when he's running across the room and you go, ka-ching. It's funny, like.
Double top
Of my. Love that laugh.
Talking of laughing.
Yeah.
Laughing's a really good therapy, especially with people that are struggling.
Yeah.
So even if they're struggling, and if they can crack a smile and a laugh, you feel better for it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have that big belly laugh, do you? You just need to be able to laugh.
Yeah, you do. And it cures so many different things. It cures your alertness. Obviously, if you're feeling a wee bit and you start that, it'll lift you up. You'll become more alert. You'll feel more energized. You'll happier, obviously.
Yeah.
And what have you. But it does, because I saw a thing, I can't remember I'm going to say I can't remember if it was real or not, because I can't remember if I saw it in a film or it was a documentary, but the idea, the concept really got to me, and I thought, do you know what, that actually works. And what it was a group of people sitting there, they didn't do anything but laugh. So one guy sort of sat there and just started laughing, and everybody else was sort of looking around a bit weird, and then somebody else started laughing. And it was just contagious. And if you watch that, you watch the effect that the simple act of laughter can bring is phenomenal.
They do that laughter therapy in China. Is it China or Japan?
I'm not 100% sure,
Where
but
they all sort of stand and force the laughing until they laugh properly.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I don't know whether it was a real thing or in a movie or what it was, but I saw it and I thought, do you know what? That could actually really work.
Yeah.
Because it does, obviously.
That's why I laugh at you all the time.
I laugh at Dan all the time. No, I don't. Bless him. No, he's not in a good place at the minute. But
we've all done those moments where we laugh at something, usually somebody we love that's already laughing or whatever. And then when you get into that hysterical giggle, you look at the person, you go, I have no idea what I'm laughing at. I have no idea. I'm just laughing because the natural sound of laughter ignites something. I don't know what that is, but I like to imagine it's connected to our inner spirit. But it's certainly connected to something deep, because as soon as we hear that laughing, it naturally relaxes you and makes you laugh. So it's interesting how simple things can have such a big effect. And people,
you know what, it's all right. It's all right to have dark times too. You know, people have to go through. I call them. See, I don't know if you agree with me, Ryan, but you know, we all have attachments that we are born with. They're part of us.
Yeah.
When we grow, they grow with us. They are a part of us, an attachment. And you have good attachments, but you also have the bad ones, the dark ones. And sometimes the dark ones can take over and cancel out the good ones for a while.
But I always like to bust this myth. Now, many of the older mediums will always attack me over this opinion that I have. And that's fine. I respect them enough to understand that they don't agree with my way of thinking, which is fine. You know. But I'm of the mindset that the good and the bad, correct? The good and the bad's there. The good and the bad influences all decisions we make in life. It affects every experience that we have. But I always feel that it's just a mindset. I always feel that even though you do have these good and these bad spirit or attachments or
They're
energies
part
or
of you.
whatever.
Aren't they part of you? That they grow with you. They're you.
Yeah.
They are
But
actually
what
you.
exactly? But the thing is the way to deal with that, and a lot of the times we experience things and we think, oh, this is evil or this is bad or this is whatever. And the thing is the reason I walk around, it's not that I've got balls of steel. It's just that whenever I go into a place where someone says, oh, there's an aggressive spirit or there's a what have you, I walk in there like they're nothing. Because
Yeah.
it's not that I have a big opinion of myself or I have big balls or anything like that. It's just a simple case of a mindset that I believe in my own team. I believe in my own energy and my own development. And I absolutely trust that there is no environment I would ever be allowed to walk into that would cause me any harm of that nature. And whether that's true or not, the belief that I have in that is what prevents, like getting back to what you're saying, the negative taking control of the positive.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like the white angel and the devil, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I know sometimes like life can get in the way and you can allow it to sort of, what's the word? Not you can allow it to creep in and affect your mental health when it's just life. It's just you've got to find your way, whatever that way may be, find your way to deal with it. However long it takes, just you can deal with it. It's not evil, it's not nasty, it's just the way it is. And mental health is a real thing. It's a real thing.
Absolutely. I find that hard, but also very easy talking about mental health. Hard because of where I was and what I was doing and the effort and level that I put into absolutely everything that I did, whether it was the paranormal or whether it was charity work, whatever. So I find it hard talking about mental health because that affected me so much that, in my opinion, I was here and now I'm here. But that's not true. It's again, like you just said, because keeping in with the reference, that's just the unbalance. That's just the yeah, so I keep doing this, but it's just to give people the visual representation of what I'm talking about. It's like that was just me being unbalanced. And that's not a shameful thing to say. And sometimes when the mind gets unbalanced, some deal with it better than others. It's like anything. Life is the simplest but yet most complicated thing that has ever been. People like myself and Dan and you and many other people that suffer, it will all suffer at some point in our lives. Some people multiple times, some people maybe just once. It doesn't matter. I hate these people that always make on that they've been through a worse time than somebody else, because that's utter bollocks. What's reality, and maybe if you're keeping up with me because I am waffling a bit, but I believe that, you know, that your life representation and what you're going through is reflected in you. So you don't see the same thing I see. You don't feel the same thing I feel.
Exactly.
You don't understand the same thing I feel. You might understand one subject completely different to what I understand that very same subject.
Yeah.
And we'll have different opinions. We need to stop. People like myself, Dan, you, and anybody else that's suffering with mental health, no matter how big or small, we need to stop worrying about those fucking things.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because look what happened to me. We were talking about my weight. 120, and I know I'm talking about myself. I'm not doing that selfishly. I'm doing that because I can't speak about what Viv's experiences are.
It's noticeable as well.
Yeah, and I was 120 kilos. I was working a full-time job on an ambulance. I was traveling the country and doing interviews all around the world and being on loads of different TV shows and stuff. That's great. And then mental health took over. And why? Because I spent 40 years of my life chasing what other people wanted.
Yeah.
And doing what other people wanted me to do. That's just how it is. And there's Neil there, and Neil himself has his own mental health issues. But what we need to start doing is focusing on ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a positive way. Because if you don't, and see this man here, I'm not saying it because he's here, but this man, and another reason why I wore this top, because I knew we'd speak about mental health. And over a year ago, I nearly tried to take my own life, as I spoke to you before about.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't have been exactly, but if it hadn't have been for these boys and Neil and welcoming me in and keeping me going and messaging me every other day and pestering the fucking life out of me at times,
Yeah.
but in a good way, because that's what he does. That's what Shetlanders do. That's what real people do. And that's not to suggest that England hasn't got real people or mainland Scotland. It's just, it's in us all. Stop worrying
Yeah.
about everybody else and focus
Yeah.
on you.
Exactly.
Anyway, hello, Neil.
Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Hi.
Can
Can
we
you hear me
listen
okay?
to your accent? Yeah, we want to listen to your accent.
Well, what do you want the king?
The king?
What do you want? I'm saying,
What
what do you want
to
the
know?
king? Do you want me to spit Broad Shetland or what's going on?
Yes.
Yes. It's Broad Shetland.
Broad Shetland, yeah. It's
So,
pronounced
Viv,
in dialect. It's pronounced Shetland, so shit land, but it's not actually shit. If you know what I mean? But
Shetland.
it's Shetland. Shetland.
There you go. So, Viv,
Why is
if
it
you
called
ask him,
Shetland? Why is it called Shetland, though, in the first place? Do you know?
Well, it used to be called Zetland, and it was also the old Norse name is Hjaltland. Shh.
that's right.
Got a dash into here whinging at me. So Hjaltland is the old Norse name. Because at
And
one point Shetland, we belonged to Denmark.
Norway.
My wife
Norway.
corrected me. Norway, sorry, yeah.
Norway. Okay.
Norway dowried Shetland to I can't remember. It was a marriage between the Princess of Norway or something, or
That's right.
to a
That's right. Yeah.
Scottish Earl or something, and they dowried Shetland Islands to Scotland. So technically we're Norwegian, but we were given to Scotland. So
And you see,
Although,
Ryan, he's a fake Shetlander
yes, yeah, he's no, he's not.
because
He
he's part Finland really as well now, because he did come to Huntingdon.
he's shocked at that. No, I mean
I
he's
thought we were
he's what we
friends.
call he's what we call an expat or an ex-Sheltie, whatever.
An
Well, I
ex
am a
Sheltie.
Sheltie. I just lost my accent.
He's returned. Yeah,
Born in Aberdeen.
he could put the accent on. I'm sure he could put the accent on if he tried.
Me, I don't. I'm not doing it. Don't do that, Neil. Don't do that on
Does it-
camera.
Does it come out when he's playing darts and he's getting?
It actually doesn't. I kind of says I've ever really heard him speak Broad Shetland like this, but and this is not the broadest. Like, if you go on and find, I'm gonna like shamelessly plug another business up here, Island Larder. Island Larder does like chocolate and stuff, ice cream, and the girl that owns it is Broad Walza, which is one of the aisles.
Yeah, she's.
And she's unbelievable. Like, you wouldn't understand what she was saying. I can put on my posh phone voice just now, but she speaks like this, and you wouldn't know kind what she was saying. And she said us what.
That's it.
It's
Yeah,
difficult
yeah.
even for Shetlanders to understand Walza fuck, and other
So-
Walza fuck to understand each other.
What do we think about his accent, Viv? What's folks saying?
It's a
What
little
we saying
bit like James Bond, isn't it? Let's look in the chat and see what people are saying about Neil.
I don't know if I want the king.
No, I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
Have you ever been sitting somewhere quietly, minding your own business, and your brain suddenly goes Shakira, Shakira for no reason?
Fuck yes, we do. Fuck yes, we do. Absolutely. Absolutely, we do.
I love
Listen,
that.
you're not a 90s baby. Like, well, we're not 90s babies, but we grew up in the 90s, you know. Absolutely, we walk into rooms going, cut Nigel, and fucking singing all these mad random songs that just come out of nowhere.
Well, I'm singing all the 5 songs just now because we're going to go and see them in Aberdeen in November.
Now,
So,
do you know what's interesting, Viv?
what's that?
Neil,
I'm still singing the Finger Boy.
I'm still singing the Venga Boys. Neil's a bit of a comedian. Neil likes doing a bit of stand-up.
Yeah, I've not done it for ages though.
He does a
seems
bit
to have
of
gone-
stand-up comedy.
It's gone dead because, well, basically, Marilyn Robertson, you may have heard of her. I'm saying to Viv, you may have heard of her. She's basically been signed by one of the biggest agents for talent agents for comedians. It's got like Ed Byrne and that on the books, and she's been signed. So she kind of gone on her own, and she's doing stand-up comedy. Absolutely brilliant for her and brilliant for Dials and stuff. So the Shetland comedy scene seems to have died down a little bit. But
Yeah.
they do have improvised comedy. Again, that's died down, but they seem to have kind of just gone quiet. They're concentrating a lot on Edinburgh Fringe and the Edinburgh Improv Festival and stuff. So they don't do a lot up here anymore, but it's a shame. It should hopefully get it going again, but
Yeah, just keep going with it. I mean, don't give
Yeah.
up. You never know what
Yeah,
will
I mean,
happen.
that's it.
I want to ask you both a question, actually. They've
Okay.
brought out a new tartan. Have you seen this tartan, the black one? The black. You've not
No.
seen the tartan?
No, but I tell you what, you mentioned black tartan. I actually quite like black tartan. It's decent, especially if it's got the right blues and stuff through it. I think it looks lovely.
It's quite a dark tartan with not so many lines or checks or squares or anything like that in it. It's quite a dark tartan that they brought out that anyone can wear. And I wondered if you'd seen it and what you thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
To be
all for
honest.
it. Anything that promotes Scotland. Anything.
I've never really worn tartan. I'm actually half English anyway, so I shouldn't admit that maybe. But half
He
English.
is
I
a
was
bit, yeah.
born in Keighley in Yorkshire.
How did I
So-
not jump on that? Because I know that as well. So when you're sitting taking the piss out of me a minute ago, I should have jumped on that and I didn't have a chance. I forgot. That passed me by.
So I don't really do tartan, but I did wear tartan for my mate's wedding. I wore a kilt because he was wearing a kilt. So was our best man. I said, "Yeah, I'll do it for you then." So I wore a kilt.
You need a tartan ghosty on your shirt, Ryan.
Well, do you know what? Neil was actually talking about getting some new tops for the team. I don't know if that's something that's going to happen soon or something that we're going to do in the future. However, you might be onto something there. Maybe we can get little character things put on there so we can have a little dude on there with a
Well-
ghost.
Well, our captain Robbie, as you know, Ryan, he does caricatures.
He does, yeah.
So
Maybe
He's,
we should get him to do one for each team
for each
member.
person, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be something, wouldn't it?
Kelly says her doctor yesterday said I need to talk to people who look at the glass half empty because I'm always positive, especially with what's wrong with me. Natural endorphins, as long as I wake up every morning, that's good enough for me. Simple in my case.
Well, I would always say that if you're, in regards to however you're feeling, whether it's happy, sad, down, or whatever, talking to people is a must. How many times I always say the old thing is philosophy is when you go on a bus, the person sitting next to you never talks to you, do they? They probably do up here, but and it's certainly in the mainland, nobody will talk to you. Hey, Wild Bill, fucking hell, Wild Bill. But yeah, nobody. Sorry, I had to do a double take there. I was thinking Wild Bill.
Yeah, he is wild as well.
I don't doubt that. But nobody talks to anybody. Did he seriously just, Bill, don't make me hunt you down now? Well, shit. They're all at it now. I can't. This is just. Can we see the dog? What dog? Oh,
We wanna
Neil's
see the
dog. Yeah,
dogs.
show me the dog, Neil.
Well, he's busy sleeping. This is. Hold on.
Neil looks like he could be from
Oh,
New Zealand, doesn't he?
He's a, yeah.
Oh,
This is
There you go.
Betty.
Betty.
oh, she's
Uh,
gorgeous.
Benji, I don't know. He's on the other lap. So, but this is Betty, and she does the best Wookiee impression. When she's really excited, she does like a Wookiee impression.
Oh,
She's like, "Oh, I can't do it. I've got a bit of a cold, so I can't do it." But she does a Wookiee
She
impression.
looks dead peaceful, like she looks really relaxed.
She is. Yeah, she is. Yeah. But our old dog is had a haircut and her ears cleaned, and she's not happy. She's she's just an old lady.
Ah, bless.
Old
It's like
lady
my
looks-
Barney. He's so chilled out these days now. He's getting older. Just to answer that question, yes, my family does have a tartan, but you've got to get the right one because it's Johnson, not John Stone. So you obviously have to make sure. And there's actually With a Johnson tartan that actually belongs to there's two of them. So you have to get the ancient Johnson, not the modern Johnson.
I was going to ask you if there's an ancient version of the tartans of today.
Well, I don't know. Neil might have more knowledge than me. I don't know, but certainly from my knowledge, I have no idea whether that's a normal thing or if it's just for that. I don't know.
I'm going to see if I can find a picture of this tartan.
Well, I'm married to a Sinclair. I think they have tartan, and an interesting fact about the Sinclair clan was, my wife will correct me if I'm wrong, but they got, when the English were back in the, in the 1400s, whatever it was, when they were trying to take over Scotland, basically, they going into tents and murdering all these people and stuff, and then the Sinclairs lay with their legs crossed, and so they thought that it was like the St. George's Cross, so they left them alone.
Can you hear me?
They thought they were English. Yeah, you're coming through.
What were you doing?
I can't hear you. Oh,
Is it
I'm back.
It's a new tartan for witches. Hang on. Let's see if I can get an image of it. It's to honour the witches. It's like that.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, we can see it, yeah.
To honour the women that were killed or put to death as for witchcraft. The witches are the new official Scotland tartan of witchcraft.
That's mental. Didn't think there'd ever be such a thing, but you learn something new every day, I guess.
So, just have a new tartan and that's it.
This is it. But yeah, I got the old tartan from when me and Sally got married, and I went down to Gretna Green and got that done. It was just over 500 quid just for a bloody kilt.
John, this is my cat, John.
John
Hey,
the cat.
John the cat.
You would.
You have to get involved every time.
This is weird. Do you not think it's weird that British folk name their animals human names? In America, you don't get that. You don't get that. You don't get that in America at all.
Yeah, they go for all the Rufus and stuff like that, don't they?
Well, I've always said, if I win the lottery, the first thing I'm going to do is jump on a plane to Dakar and buy a black camel and bring him back as a pet. And I'm going to call him Nigel.
Why?
Nigel the camel just...
Nigel Camel, yeah.
Why the hell not, I suppose? Why the hell not?
Nigel, our next door neighbour's dog's called Nigel.
Nigel's a good name for a dog.
Well, I had a collie called Dave.
Dave.
And do you know why? Because I always wanted to say my mate Dave. So I went, my mate Dave. Here's my mate Dave. So I just called him Dave.
And we knew someone that likes the idea of calling a chicken, the chickens, the hens. You have one of the chickens in the house, and that chicken would be called Colin.
Have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger? I can't even say his surname right. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Have you seen how he has donkeys come into his house,
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, if you Google it, honestly, you'll see that he's got he has breakfast with his donkey and all that, in his fucking. Honestly, you see him sitting at the dinner table, and it was during COVID when everybody was doing all those videos, and I seen this one of him sitting there eating this food, and this fucking donkey's eating off a plate too. I was like, what the hell?
Do you know? I've got a friend who's half Russian, and we were talking about funny things that we'd seen on the internet, and I said this was a few years ago over in Russia. There was an old granny in her kitchen making food or just singing along doing what she does, and you can imagine a really sort of frail old decrepit old lady, and all of a sudden her back door swings open and in walks a wild bear, and it rears up on it's standing on two legs, and she's having a right go at it in Russian, really having a go and pointing her finger and doing all of this, and he sits down, and because he sits down she strokes him and then starts feeding him.
I would not be, honestly, I would not be surprised. But speaking of that, Shetland made the news actually as well, because did you see the otter that had gone through the house? Have you seen that?
No, otters.
Yeah, get on Google
Oh yeah,
again,
excellent. Yeah.
and Google otter invades house Shetland, and literally just the other day it made national
just know,
news.
yeah.
It was like this otter was running around the place inside this people's house, in the cupboards,
Stealing
everything.
food.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was honestly one of the
That's
funniest ones I've
brilliant.
seen.
I think it was a bit scared though.
It probably was scared, yeah, I would think.
They're gorgeous creatures, though, otters. I think they are. They're beautiful.
Nasty
They're cute.
bastard.
They're
Well,
cute.
they are evil though.
If they got hold of you, they wouldn't let go until they had
No.
a crack or whatever. But
Yeah. Proper dodgy.
Dodgy.
Well, they are. I mean, up here, I mean, that's the thing about the coastline and stuff like that. You've got to be so careful. I remember being at school up in Bray and a young boy dying because he fell off the little edge of the cliff kind of thing. But you've got to be so careful. And even in the water, you know, around the coastline, you've got to be so careful. Even though you're a kid, you might be splashing about in the water thinking, being brave and showing off to your pals. See, within a few seconds, that current's taking you away and you'll never be seen again. Just
Yeah.
be bloody careful
Yeah.
when you're down by the
yeah,
water.
there's been a few folk that's happened
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
Swept off. That's it.
So
Another friend
tell
of
me-
mine swept away when he was getting I can't remember what shellfish he was going for now, but he was down there doing something and it swept him away.
Oyster diving.
I can't mind.
Sure, it was oyster diving.
So I want to know about Friday night. So you've got this darts match going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
the last one, is it? The last one? Is it the final?
No, it's just the last game of the season. So it's a league season, so you play each other twice. Our league's got 9 teams, so we have a bye week. It's our last game, but the last league game is actually next Friday. But we don't play because we've got our bye week. So that's it for us after this week. So yeah.
How long
And-
has this team been going for?
This team started in about '89, I think.
It's been going a fair while.
Yeah. We're
Uh,
kind of legends. I mean, there is other teams like the Vikings and things like that up here
Yeah.
that have been around a lot longer, but
Yeah, the Vikings team is, and our captain, if he was on, he would tell you the longest story possible. But basically, they're the oldest amateur pub team in the world, so it's like a record, but unofficially, I suppose. But we're not far off, like 30 odd years. But I've only been part of the team about 6 or 7. But
we see our captain Robbie that he refers to, bless him, suffers with that horrendous disease, Parkinson's. And it sets in really, really bad for him, bless him, at times. But do you know something? I've seen that man have the real bad tremors and different things like that. I've seen him really bad, as has Neil, of course. But do you know what? Nothing stops that man. He keeps going. He keeps pushing the darts team. He'll push Neil. He'll push me. He's privately helped me out when I was at my lowest point at Christmas. He's helped Neil out on many different occasions. They work together on different things, and they're always, you know, he's always there to speak to whenever you need him, and always there for a help. So I think we're talking about depression and things. I'm sure that man's got his own troubles, but it's just a good. What's the word I'm looking for? A good example of the human spirit. That
Yes.
man's human spirit just is phenomenal, and I'm forever in his debt. I think he's amazing.
I think everyone needs more of that human spirit where we're looking out for our fellow brothers and sisters rather than trying to outdo one another all the time. I think human beings and us as a society have forgotten how to do that because of social media.
Well, it's things like we touched on Neil's comedy and different things like that,
Yeah.
and the different things that I've done in my. It doesn't matter what your medium is. Forgive the pun, but do you like what I did there?
I do.
You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your medium is. You know, go out there, enjoy it, and like I said earlier on, do it for you. Don't obviously ignore your loved ones. Take them into consideration when you make your choices, but essentially think of you. You know what I mean? That's what's important in life. Keep being positive.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, talking about being positive, we need to plan something and bring you down this way again when you're back down here with Sally, and let's arrange an event. Let's do something together. Well, we'll have to speak about it privately though. But let's do something.
Yes, of course, privately, and we'll all chat privately. However, it is very convenient and how the world works when we talk about everything happens for a reason. Because see that man down there. Well, he's down there on my screen. I don't know where he is on your screen.
He's down there, yeah. He's in the
poking
middle.
Viv
He's
in the
sort of
head or
down there in the middle.
Hang on.
You're up there, and you're up there.
But the thing is, with Neil, we're talking about an event and we can chat. Neil is a very, very keen amateur photographer, and I tell you what, some of the pictures. See if you go on my profile, or even Neil's now, because obviously you're friends. Go and have a look. You'll see he'll post his own pictures and different things. Maybe there's something that Neil can get involved in. Maybe he can come down and take some pictures.
Let's get something going.
I just use my Samsung phone. I don't use I do have what you'd call a big camera, like a ordinary one, but I just use my Samsung and get some great pictures with it. So,
well, I've filmed every single live with a phone. So
my phone's a bit rubbish. I've got a Samsung, but it's one of those that opens out, and it was the first gen.
Oh yeah,
not very good. I'm a woman. What do I know?
I can't. Don't ever say that. Absolutely not. We should be saying sometimes men. I think it's a bit.
My get out clause. I'm a woman. What do I know?
I'm sticking up for the women here, and I'm saying, listen, cut that bullshit out. We're all equals.
All right then.
I'm just trying to keep on the Mrs. Good books. And Jolene's, because Jolene is a very, very. This makes her sound horrible. She's not. She's lovely, but I would not get on the wrong side of Jolene, and I know. I don't want to see my mate getting a sore ear either. So,
admit it, you're scared of her.
Absolutely terrified of Jolene.
I don't know if she's listening to something else. She might not be able to hear that comment. Oh,
exactly why I'm.
Poor Jolene.
Oh, she's actually listening to this on her phone with her. So you can't hear.
So Queen Jolene, when Queen Jolene says something, we absolutely follow.
As we said earlier, behind every successful man, there's a more successful woman pushing him up the ladder.
Agreed. And Jolene and Sally's, there's no beating it. That's just. I think I completed that one. Can I get a T-shirt now?
What kind of T-shirt do you want?
One that says, "I'm a good husband. I gave the right brownie points."
Yeah, but you had to ask Sally that.
Shit. She says, "I can't hear you." But yeah, so I do want to come back down. I do want to come back down to more, and I definitely will.
Yeah.
It's just we need to work on something. I think we need to put an event together, something big. Something good.
Let's do something totally spectacular and amazing that it will wow people.
I was just about to say spectacular.
Well, that word's sort of used. Let's do something. Let's do something special.
I have an idea.
Oh boy.
We should do something special.
It'd also be a one of a kind and never been done before. You should be very afraid, Ryan. I've got you. Neil, I can't make that from Friday. I've got the flu, I've got malaria, typhoid. Typhoid. Who didn't get their love in houses?
I was going to say that's tea, is it not?
True story.
Oh, that's really bad.
What? Help us.
The baboon's going in the house.
Holy shit, that's a bear. Oh, the baboons.
The baboon monkey. The baboons.
Like a monkey, yeah.
And he drinking the milk out of the jug and then putting it back in the fridge when it was done.
Better than me. I made a cuppa yesterday and put the kettle in the cupboard. So what am I doing?
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Robert.
Oh, Carl will be up for an event. Ooh.
Oh, we've got to get an event done, definitely. Jolene will come in an event, Sally will come in an event, Neil will come in an event. We'll all have a big
Can we have an
time.
event? Carl's in Vegas. Can we have an event in Vegas?
You're paying for the tickets, absolutely.
That's true, just to say who's paying.
I think who
Harleys.
said it dealt it, don't you, Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
you're getting
spelled
too
it
old to put
differently.
your ass on the corner.
Careful, everyone comments. You'd be crazy. We've already talked about dogging and stuff. I don't want to hear your kink about chloroform. Thank you very much.
No.
See you Friday, pal. See ya.
You're in trouble now.
This
Oh,
is
I'm always in trouble.
Benji. This is Benji here.
Oh, is
He
he
needs to
sleeping?
he needs to be covered. This is like
Oh,
Oh,
no.
bless
he
him.
needs to be covered. Yeah, he's gone though. He's not happy with that covering, so I don't know. It's a
Oh, bless
dachshund
him.
thing. They all want to be covered up. It's mental. I don't
Mine
know.
are like that though. My Staffy and my Beagle and the two little pups, they come on and go under the duvet all the time and want blankets and jumpers. Mental.
Because
Is
that's
it cold in Shetland now, though? Is it like quite
It's
chilly?
actually colder this time of year than it is actually in what you would call winter.
Hmm.
So
Because
March, April time is usually we get our winter basically 3 months after everybody else, just about. But
so do the animals feel that, and that's why they want to be closer
no,
and
I think it's just a
snuggle in?
dashing thing. But Benji's
Yeah.
actually got alopecia, so he's losing his fur.
Oh.
He's got a bald belly, bald ears, bald legs. Well, the backs of his legs where his bum is. He's bald.
I thought you were going to say something else there. That's why I thought the pause had come in there. Like I thought, well
It's
done, Neil. Well
baldy.
done.
So
What a
yeah,
save.
he probably feels it more than other dogs with lots of fur. But
Yeah. That's not good. It's always shite when you see them
no.
suffering. Like even if it's small, large, or whatever, it's not good to see the dog suffering. You know. I was
But
talking to Sally.
being
Sorry.
bald doesn't mean that you're suffering.
No. I just mean that, like, you know, that it's crappy because the dogs. We were talking the other day about how a dog's feeling and how
Yeah.
how a dog's reacting. And I said, it'd be amazing just to get a penny for the thoughts of a dog. Like, as mental as that sounds, because they communicate through noise and action, don't they? They don't really.
Yeah.
They don't obviously talk, so it'd be as mental as that sounds. It'd be dead interesting just to find out what goes through a dog's head.
I don't
You know.
think I could see you sniffing on a dog's ass.
I love it. I love it.
And on that note, Neil, how did Newcastle get on the other day?
Absolutely fantastic.
Did they?
70 years without a trophy.
No.
You support
Did I not tell
Newcastle?
you? No. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Why
I supported them
Newcastle?
since I supported them since I was 12.
But why?
So,
But
well,
why?
why? Do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I supported Newcastle because one of the popular guys at school supported Newcastle as well, and I thought I'm going to support Newcastle. But my dad, he supported Man U. My brother supports Man U.
But
Looks like I was the sensible one, but
we're similar ages. Did you not find that obviously I look a lot older for the stressful paper
we
round.
do, yeah.
But we are very similar ages. Anyway, we sort of come from that same sort of generation. Did you not find that when you were younger, especially Viv, you'll not remember that as well, going through like the 80s and 90s, it was that generation where we did copy a lot more of what our friends are doing and what our neighbours are doing and what we do now. I know some might argue that because there's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing. I understand that's one aspect, but I'm talking more about kids. So like when we were young, we always got the same coloured toy car, we got the same jumper, the same trackies, the same. I remember me and my best friend, we wore the exact same outfit, or was that just me?
Yeah, but you can do that now. You just go to Tesco and buy all your clothes because everybody gets the clothes from Tesco. You're all wearing the same thing anyway. But I get what you mean, though. It was like that.
The reason I mention it is because I was obviously at school here in Shetland. How much of your school time did you spend in Shetland, Neil?
All my schooling.
Did you do all of it here? I wasn't
Nursery
sure
right
if
up
you.
to 5th year.
Yeah, so did you find that when you were at school that Man United was a massive team in the schools? Did you notice that?
Yeah. Well, of course it was that.
Well, yeah, of course. Why did I
80s,
not even
90s.
twig?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Didn't
I
think of
remember
that, to be
everyone
honest.
singing "Ooh Ah Cantona." I said "Ooh Ah Cantona"
I know.
back in the 80s. Do you remember that?
I remember. Do you remember the Man United song that made the charts? It was what was it? How did it go again? Come on, you Reds! Come on, you Reds! Counting
Yeah,
all
that
the
one, yeah.
future heads and 90 minutes left to go. Man United, here we go! Glory, glory, Man United! He's not appreciating this anyway.
There's also up in Shetland, speaking of football, a lot of folks support Aberdeen, right? But
yes,
I think geographical convenience is you're on the boat or the plane down, you're at the game. Whereas if you support anybody else in Scotland, you've got to go a little bit further. There's a lot of, obviously, Rangers and Celtic fans.
Yeah.
There's Hibs fans, you know, there's all this, but you have to go further. But I think a lot of folk, I can only speak for myself, it was partly geographical convenience because we could get to the games easier, but also because we like the teams.
You're also a referee, aren't you, Neil? You do refereeing, don't you? So.
I do, Ooh.
He's an official referee, is Neil?
You're supposed to be doing it as well.
Yes, I am.
You're lucky that you haven't got the lights of what's his name that used to go and see how quickly he could take out the referee on a football match. Oh God, what's Vinnie Jones?
Oh, Vinnie Jones, yeah.
He used to love a ref.
There's loads of Vinnie Joneses up here, or there used to be anyway, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's bad now, but yeah. When the old Works League was going, yeah, you definitely got that old guys that just lunged into a tackle because they were never going to get the ball, so they just got the man. But
that's the Highland stuff for you, isn't it? We don't mess about here.
So Neil, I was talking about Billy Connolly earlier today and how sad it was he's had to take a back seat and how his affliction is really taking a hold and he's had to live a more quieter life, which to me, when we spoke about comedians and you talk about more women coming into the spotlight now, I think there's also room for more men. And I also think, and what we are lacking are people like Billy Connolly that are not scared to tell a rude joke, that are not scared to talk about their grandmother taking a jobby in the bushes because she didn't want to miss the bus to go to bingo or whatever, you know. I think there is still that room there for people to grow. So please, just don't give it up. Always keep it there simmering away somewhere in the background.
If there's ever a chance, I'll do it. But you've got, I love Ricky Gervais, and he's one of those guys you either love or you hate.
He's a bit of a genius, I think.
He always just says, comedy's subjective. Like, if I say a joke and Viv, you say, "Oh, that's offended me," well, I don't care because that's your feelings. You know what I mean? And that's how Ricky Gervais. He actually is he's an advocate. He's like vegan and everything. So I mean, if he tells a vegan joke and it's about vegans being whatever the joke is, it's not about vegans. It's about what as he says. It's not about the subject. It's about.
It's not about the people. It's about the subject. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. You're not actually like saying this, that, and the next, but it's absolutely right. Yeah, I think comedians, you're going to get cancelling comedy if you keep going on. But
the problem you've got there is obviously from what Neil does, like local clubs. If that was the case, that'd be the sort of that's what you would be doing, wouldn't it, Neil? That you'd be doing like clubs and things like that. That's what didn't you do a comedy show not so long ago?
Here, well, we did here in one of the old. It's one of the ones that's closed down. It's one that was the String. Do you remember the String, Ryan? On the street. It's now. Can't remember what it's called, but it was upstairs where Osler's used to be. Do you remember Osler's?
Oh Christ, yeah.
It was upstairs there, so that wasn't really a club as such. It was just like a small venue. So I've only really done small venues, and I did Mariel. I was a host at Mariel for something.
The thing is the reason I mention that, and I'm sure Neil will be able to give a more accurate point on it, but my understanding is that's where you would find your Billy Connolly's, your same level of humour that you're talking about, because from that stage, the only input that I can put into it, because I know nothing about comedy, I've never, that's not, I mean, I'd love to do it, but it's just not what I've done. But where not funny. I'm just not funny, as the wife says, unless I'm sleeping. But the thing is I know not. But what I can input on that is saying that where the problem comes and why we're not seeing it is because Ofcom won't allow that to. You know, there's no way that you're going to be able to see half the comedy that we should be seeing on our screens, because it's getting ridiculous, the red tape that we get caught up in. So
I'm so sick of snowflakes.
I say, yeah, exactly. I say to somebody, like, there's a common saying in Glasgow, forgive the expression, no offence is intended, it's purely for example purposes, but you black bastard, like, you know, and I say that for example, not to upset or offend anybody.
Not
So
endorsed
please
by
don't
Ryan
read into that and
Griffiths.
make up a bullshit headline. But yeah, we'd say, you're black, and we'd be talking about getting covered in mud or getting whatever. And I just think that the world seriously has gone batshit crazy.
Yeah,
Just
I
think it's
think it has.
bullshit, like.
Anywho.
Exactly. Listen, we can talk about whatever kinks you want. I mean, you're welcome to come on here and chat about whatever you like, but I might get all embarrassed and run away. How weird, I can understand what they're saying. You know something, I'm going to touch on that. The worst thing about a Scottish accent is going to McDonald's drive-through. Fucking drives me crazy. Because, trust me, I spoke like a fucking dialect in front of one of those things just to make sure that it's so crystal clear. And still, the woman comes back and goes, sorry, could you say that again, please, mate? You're like, oh. I swear to God, pisses me right off. But what I'm saying about the Scottish accent is actually a lot of people say that I can't understand what they're saying as the subtitles. But see, if you just stop for a second, slow down and stop overthinking and stop trying to figure too much out and just listen to the Scottish person, it's not actually as hard to understand as you think it is.
I think the Glaswegian accent is the hardest. It's fast and it's hard. And it's when because they talk so fast, I think that's why people. I think the further north you go, the softer it becomes, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, from your point of view, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, being brought up in, I spent a lot of time in Glasgow, and Neil had been there himself, obviously. But I find it easy. There, one second, Sal. I just find that the most easiest accent to understand. But I can understand where you're coming from. Sorry, what were you saying, Sal?
I was going to say the Glaswegians have gills. They don't breathe when they talk. They just talk.
This is true. You should hear my
Well,
sister.
do you know the best thing to come out of Glasgow?
Me.
The fucking motorway.
Though those that live
That's
in Glasgow,
joke. There's a joke there.
That is a joke.
Those that are in Glasgow would say the best thing that went out of
cancel
Glasgow
me. It is a joke.
was me.
We have that. I've said that in Shetland. Like my in-laws, my mother-in-law's from originally from the south end of Shetland. So like I'm in Lerwick, which is like the capital, and then we used to say the best thing to come out the south end is the road out of it.
Yeah, but I bet there's many places like it, unfortunately.
Yeah, but all tongue in cheek, of course. But you know,
I think he's saying, is it Burnie's Land, isn't it? You know, it's, I can't say it right. It's the two guys. There's a viral clip that goes about with the two guys in the lift, and they're both Scottish. What's this program called again, Neil? I can't say it right.
I can't remember the one you mean. Is it Bruntisland or something? Yeah,
that's it.
Something like that, yeah.
It's like
I've
a
not seen
sketch
the
show.
program.
The
I've
two
seen the
Scottish
clip,
guys go in, don't they?
Is it the Scottish voice in the lift or something? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a voice activated lift. So the woman goes like that to him, and the tannoy comes over and says, "All right, which floor?" And he goes, 1. And the lift goes, "Okay, 7." And he's like, no, 1. And he's like, and it goes on like that. And he's like trying, and it's like the McDonald's drive-through thing. They just don't understand the fucking thing that's getting said.
Yeah.
But I will have to pull this short in a wee second, unfortunately, Viv.
Yes. We've been at nearly, do you know, we've been an hour and 15 minutes. We've gone over time.
Always. Chewing the fat's amazing. Still Game's the best.
Still Game, chewing the fat. Absolutely brilliant.
I do think there is a TV show here to be made, which is a ghost hunter with your cameraman, Neil. And you do your EVP sessions where Neil tells the jokes, and we'll see if you get any response in the way of laughter.
That would actually
Comedy
be
ghost hunt.
What could we call it? Haunting comedy or something? I don't know.
what would be. Do you know I'm going to do that? You watch some other snaky bastard nick that idea, but I bet you. Fuck it. Probably name's probably Lee Roberts. Whoops.
Bollocks to him. Oh, sorry.
I can't believe you just did that.
Yeah, I did just do that. But yeah, me and Neil, that'd be hilarious.
I think you should do that. Get on that
think you
case,
should.
and it would be hilarious just watching the two of you doing that.
I'd make that shit go viral, man. That'd be hilarious.
Especially,
I must go- do
especially
you know
if you
why
got a
I'm saying-
response
Say again?
to the. Especially if you got a response on EVP to one of his jokes.
Could you
Nobody's
imagine
done
it?
that before.
Could you imagine it though? It'd be
That'd
fun.
be hilarious.
But I'm busting for the loose. I'm going to have to.
Right. We will get you both back on a show soon because we.
He just still doesn't know what's happening.
Well, don't
What?
worry. You could just come along for the ride.
He's
But
like,
Sally-
you know that mate that walks into the pub late, just walks in, doesn't have a clue what he's walking into, just sits down and pretends that he's been there the whole time. That's Neil. He's like, the fuck? What's going on?
And I'm
Sally,
deaf,
we'll
so I
catch up
just have to
soon.
nod along.
Sally, we'll catch up soon. We'll have to have a chat at some point. But Neil, it's been a pleasure having you on, and we will get you on again. And good luck, both of you, for Friday.
No worries. I'll tell you what, we'll come and we'll do you a little report back. I'll let you know how it went.
Definitely.
So you know you're tempting fate.
Match.
There you go.
All right, it was lovely having you on. Well, take care, everyone. I will be back next week. I don't know if Dan will be back next week, but we've
Much
got
love
other
to
guests
Dan.
coming on. Yes, I'll let him know. Take care, Neil. Take care, Ryan.
Thank
We'll
you.
speak to you very soon. Bye, everyone in the chat.
Stay
Take
spooky,
care.
guys.